No, the poster you're looking at right now. The reason why teenage girls in Korea have refused to communicate with their male peers. Now, I'm gonna put up what the teenage girls like right now, and I'm gonna put up what the teenage guys like. Now, it seems very rage baity, but I don't know if it is because the poster doesn't have the blue check mark. So like that, what people or when people do a rage bait, they tend to have that because they get monetization. And I mean, it has 1 million views. How much that converts to the monetization or how much they get paid, no idea. But that's usually what happens. But since it doesn't, I kind of think it's trying to be misandristic, misandry, just the opposite of misogynistic. And I honestly, I think it's dumb. I have heard that there are problems with that kind of stuff, like men being creepy over in Asia, but I feel like that's anywhere. So you can't really make the argument of like, oh, that's why they don't like their male peers or anything. And I think it's dumb. The whole post, I think it's dumb because you can make an argument for either side of being, oh, it's bad because it's this. Cause you could see, I got a couple screenshots to show. Now the first one is from Awakbi. I'm not gonna try and pronounce that. And person purchased it, and they were shocked because it has physical abuse and SA. Now, nothing wrong with that because any book, story, anything you read that's made for, I would say, grown-ups, older people, at least to a certain age, they're going to have some type of stuff like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, nothing wrong with a book having that, physical abuse, SA, very, very bad. But it's like, it's kind of dumb because I could kind of see what they're trying to say. It's like they don't want the teenage girls don't want to communicate with their male peers because of it seems like what they read. Yeah, they read books that have physical abuse and SA, which I doubt it was glorified. If anything, it was more of a traumatic experience for whoever went through that, whether it was one or multiple characters. And then I saw this one, I'm going to put it right now, by James McVeigh, sad, unrealistic, romantic fan service book that appeals to the fantasy of women, good. Sappy, unrealistic, romantic fan service book that appeals to the fantasy of men, bad. And yeah, it seems like that's what the post is kind of showing or trying to say. And it's dumb. They're not wrong. Not that whatever the books the teenage girls are reading is bad either. But they can't be saying, oh, this is the reason why the teenage girls aren't communicating with the teenage guys. It's like you can't paint it one way when when you could paint it the same way for the other side. And then you see in the bottom, Rosa Flora, yeah, you see. Don't take it out of context. Have you read these or understand the male fantasy, quote unquote? You speak of sexualize and objectifies females, especially those underage. The MC in these books often treat female characters without respect or prioritizing own desires, which is a dumb take because you could say the same thing for the books in the teenage girls, the ones that the teenage girls read. Whether it appeals to one side or the other, someone is getting sexualized. or objectified. Females aren't the only ones that get objectified or sexualized. Guys can get sexualized and objectified the same way females do. And the underage thing, it's obviously it's weird. I'm not gonna deny that. But at the same time, it's fiction. They are not real. Now, if they were real, it's a different discussion. But because they're not, you could clearly see they are fiction. They don't look like a real, human child, whether underage or not. It's a moot point. And then he continues and mentions book talk Goonerbait books, which is right. Those kind of books are what anime and manga to guys is to girls. These books have inaccurate and not very healthy relationships in these books. But these women aren't going to see that or read it and be, oh, yeah, this is what a relationship should look like. And then after he says for males, the graphic sexual content is shown, and for females, they read it. And, and then he goes on and pretty much insults her, trying to, her acting like she's on a high horse and everything, which he's not wrong. Whether guy or girl, especially reading in these topics, genres, we do consume some type of sexual or graphic content. Nothing bad about it, nothing wrong about it, but you can't demoralize one side just because on your side it does the same thing. Yeah, just this last screenshot, I'm not gonna dissect it too much. I was gonna talk about it more, but I feel like I already said my point. And I'm just gonna end it with whether you hate women, whether you hate men, just know you are most likely gonna live a long and not so fruitful, miserable life. And, whether something happened to you in the past, whether guy or girl, just if some girls stud you up or you're constantly stud up growing up, whether a guy has constantly made unwanted passes on you, or something extreme happened to you and you don't like either or, that could be justified to an extent. But majority of these people, most likely something that has never happened, at least in this day and age, something has just nothing happened, and they just don't like the other side, which I think is completely stupid. But yeah, that's just my take on it. At the end of the day, it's just a dumb post on Twitter, but that's my reason for making these videos. This was a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. Yeah. Subscribe, like if you're new. If you think I am somewhat correct, then let me know. If I am incorrect, let me know. Do you think I made some fair points? I feel like I made some fair points. Or do you think I'm just a misogynistic man that doesn't know what I know? And I'm just completely wrong, and yeah. I kind of want to make more videos like this, but we'll see. I think I'll just make them when nothing's happening in the gaming community, whether Sweet Baby Inc. or whatever company they're associated. And yeah, have a good one.